Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordan Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuine.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Say No to PPOs podcast series. My name is Ben Tuine, and on behalf of Jordan Comstock, my colleague, I'd like to welcome you to an episode where we're going to be talking about medical and dental cross-coding. My colleague Jordan Comstock will join us here in a few minutes. He's just running a little bit behind. Of course, we both run our individual separate businesses, but we've joined forces to create a Say No to PPOs podcast with the intent of teaching and educating and gathering good data on how you can best navigate insurance practices within the dental office. So we have a wonderful guest with us today. Christine Taxin. She is the founder and president of Links to Success. That's LINKS, the number 2, Success. You can find her website at linkstosuccess.biz, B-I-Z. Now that company is a practice management consulting company that works both on the dental and medical side. Prior to starting her own consulting company, Ms. Taxin served as an administrator of a critical care department at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City and managed an extensive multi-specialty dental practice in New York, and now provides private practice consulting services, delivers continuing education seminars for dental and medical professionals, and serves as an adjunct professor at the New York University Dental School and resident programs in New York City. We just launched a podcast called Say No to PPOs.
Okay.
What that is, it's not an effort to boycott insurance. It's definitely not a message that's saying everybody needs to go out of network. But it's more so a message to help combat some of the basic and regular issues that dental practices experience on a day-to-day basis. Everything from being bullied around with low fee schedules, the issues that are experienced on getting a claim paid, coverage discrepancies, and so forth. And our mission is to help dental practices become more efficient when it comes to dealing with insurance. So we don't proclaim to know everything. However, we do get office managers, people that work within the dental practice, consultants, coding experts, individuals that do provide services. We invite them as guests on our program to educate doctors and perhaps provide one nugget in an effort to inspire people to call you so that they can reach out to you directly. We know that you're the expert in your areas, and we're experts when it comes to fee negotiations and how to do that very well. But I think most of the doctors out there are just looking for solutions on how to deal with insurance carriers. Your topic with coding is amazing to me because many practices out there struggle with even basic dental coding. Your husband, Dr. Paul, said that you're certified with the ADA to teach coding.
Right.
And then the other thing with medical cross-coding. So one of the issues that we face a lot is a lot of doctors don't even know it's possible. But then there becomes like this question about the legality behind medical coding. Is it legal to code on the medical side as a dental practice?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So is there a difference between, like, if you're a dentist or specialist in terms of whether insurance carriers will pay the claim or?
Well, technically, the new law that's out, there is a new law out from Medicare.
Yeah.
And that law states that a DDS or a DMD is allowed to bill medical as long as it's within the scope of their practice.
Right. That's good to know. Do you know, like, if doctors wanted to research that law, do you know what the law is titled, or is it a federal law or a state law?
Well, it's from Medicare, so it's a federal law.
Gotcha.
Now, every state has their own laws.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that.
Right.
But there's no state laws making it illegal. Now, that doesn't mean that the insurance companies can't write that there's a limitation, or right now a lot of them will say, you know, we only have in-network for oral surgery. So if it's an only in-network plan, a lot of them won't let you do it. However, I've had patients call their insurance company and let them know that they don't want surgery. So, for example, if they want sleep apnea or TMD, they don't want surgery. They want non-surgical. And a surgeon really does surgery.
Right.
So, that's really another part of the issue.
When it comes to just this basic understanding of medical coding, like what's your advice to somebody that's just at the entry level, a general dentistry practice, or even an oral surgeon or a specialist? What's your advice to them on whether it's even worthwhile to take a look at it? Is it worthwhile to take a look at medical coding?
Well, this is what I normally, do for a doctor. Before they hire me or they come to a course or any of that, I ask them three things. One is, have you ever run a report out of your computer on the codes that were used in the past year? So then I ask them to look at, all of their implant coding, their surgical extraction, surgical gum treatments, all of those things. If they've done some of those and they think they're going to grow that part of the practice, then I highly recommend taking medical billing, because dental no longer pays for bone grafts. They tell you to bill medical. They won't pay for third molar extractions. They tell you to pay medical. So there's a lot of things now that are coming back. Please bill medical.
Right.
Sleep apnea is only medical. TMD, if you're billing it correctly, if you're really doing TMD and not a bite plate, then that's medical.
Right.
So, we do a lot of implant billing for our clients, a lot. And we have lots of offices, making very good money on, learning how to bill accidents, surgical treatments, and even if they're doing osteo or bone grafting or any of those things, that's all medical.
So a primary candidate for you in terms of the education behind medical billing, is it somebody that does implants, or are there different tiers?
Anybody, well, I hate to say it's a specialty, because there's a lot of GPs today doing multiple treatments that they've never, in general, years ago, never did in GP. So I don't like to leave them out of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it almost is like disqualifying them, and that may not really be true.
Absolutely.
They really be qualified. So it's really according to what they're billing.
Gotcha.
The second thing is, if you're on any of the Medicaids, any of them, you need to start to learn how to diagnose. Which, whether you bill dental or medical, you still have to learn diagnostic coding.
Right.
And all of the schools are graduating doctors that use diagnostic codes. In the next 4 years, you're going to see them all come out of school knowing how to do that. Yeah. So, like Delta Dental has put a mandate through that they're going to participate with medical dental billing forms with ICD-10 diagnostic codes. And so there's a lot of insurance companies that are giving additional benefits, but only if you diagnose your patient.
We recognize and realize that there's got to be some very basic understanding on whether they're a candidate to learn medical coding. And we have a lot of clients that come to us that don't do surgery, that don't do a whole lot outside of the scope of the crown and bridge work, that are trying to bill medical and spending thousands of dollars on education to learn how to bill medical. But it sounds like to me that dental coverage is for dental, medical coverage is for more of the extended items. And there's
it's really about a medical necessity. I mean, you could have a patient who is diabetic but doesn't need major work. And if that patient is diabetic and you know how to diagnose them with, like, say, gingival gums or perio or anything, then they become medical. It's not as black and white as dental billing is. Dental billing is much more like a rebate. So you bill what you do, and you get paid for what you do as long as it's $1,000 or $1,500. And it's not an exclusion. But with medical, it's much more about why does the patient need it.
Right.
And so it's very difficult for me to say, oh, no, it's not worth it for you to come.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at, and we talk to offices about these kinds of things before they actually sign up
Right.
for anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a CBT in your practice, that's medical. Right there. Just, all right, come and learn how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, we're just kind of in the middle of our conversation here with Christine.
Okay.
So she's been really great talking about the candidate, the type of practice that would be a great candidate to come to one of her classes about coding. And she just ended off by talking about how if billing insurance is medically necessary, that qualifies as medical. And then she started to talk about if you have a cone beam, a CBCT, that automatically qualifies as medical. Which
Interesting.
Which leads to the next question about CBCT. So Christine, I'm sure you're aware on the dental side, you bill the CBCT code to dental.
Yeah, they don't pay.
1 out of 100 pays.
Wow.
Yep, there's very few companies. Listen, I was at the code revision committee and at the ADA, and they actually said they're not paying for it because they know medical will pay for it. So medical couldn't pay. Why would they pay?
So I guess that's a good point because so this whole denial of the CBCT on the dental side, what you're saying or what you found out is dental insurance carriers are doing that because they want you to push it to medical? Did I hear that right?
Yep, yes, that's what they're doing. More and more insurance companies are not allowing dental to pay for anything that's considered a medical necessity.
Right.
So like years ago, if you did an extraction and a bone graft on the same day, they would pay for it. But they're no longer paying for it.
Right.
So you have to bill medical.
So if you're doing a CT scan, do you have to do the interpretation in order to qualify for reimbursement?
No, that's a really very good question. There are several ways to bill CBC. When you have the machine in your office, you can take the film and even email it to somebody like I use UNC, Dr. Tydell. That's who I recommend. I mean, there's plenty of people out there, but that's just who I've worked with.
Right.
And he'll read it. He charges a fee for that. Then you can bill one claim form for taking it and another claim form for reading it.
Gotcha.
And it's two different NPI numbers, so therefore you get paid two different ways. You have to let them know that another doctor read it, but the money can come to your office. So if these doctors that read it, the radiologists, want to get paid up front, which a lot of them do, they don't want to bill, then you could still bill for it as long as you have their notes, which you have to have notes.
Right.
So it's a great way of keeping that income in your office. So if you pay them $75, I mean, you're going to get that $75 for reading it.
That's
and
right.
You're going to get a lot more for the taking of it.
So I know a lot of doctors that have cone beams. An example is we have clients in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They would take the images, but they would send them to a radiologist in California for the interpretation.
Right.
So different state, different governance of licensing. So that's still okay then, right? You can still...
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you bill it, when you have a machine, you really should have it accredited. Now, more and more medical insurance companies are only going to pay if the machine is accredited. And the reason is it's a durable medical equipment piece of machinery that has to be equilibrated correctly and irradiation. So in saying that, once you accredit that machine, you're not accrediting your office, you're accrediting the facility the machine is in. So it's like having another entity. That accreditation allows you to bill, including Medicare. So it's very beneficial to do it that way.
That's a great
If you aren't going to charge, then don't bother.
Right.
But I can tell you more and more insurance companies will only pay if it's accredited.
That's a great...
But you get a lot of money when you do that.
Yeah. How do you get your CT machine accredited? Do you work just through your vendor
Well,
on that?
I work with companies that do it. The fee runs anywhere between having a physicist come in and the accreditation paperwork done is about $4,000, but you could make that back in 2 films.
That's right.
Hmm.
I did not know that. I confess I have a lot of clients that have CT scanners, and this makes sense to me because my brother deals on the medical side. He works for a large hospital here, and he's even mentioned to me about a lot of their equipment having to be accredited in order for them to use them and get reimbursements on them. So I totally get it. Just the first time I've ever heard it on the cone beam side of things. So that's a huge tip.
And it's really because you now, like, it's like sleep apnea. If you're providing sleep apnea appliances, you really should have a certification. But if you want to do it if you want to go into Medicare to do sleep apnea, which a lot of my clients do, you don't have to participate, but you do have to have what they call that specialty number. That specialty number will allow them you could bill any insurance then. And then with it, you're a specialist, but you're not the specialist. Your office becomes a durable medical equipment office.
Interesting. So, Christine, what easy tips can you provide our listeners about anything about coding with medical or dental?
Well, I would recommend that they take a look at their EOBs on, if they're getting any denials for any of these services, whether it's x-rays, whether it's, any of those films, if they're doing sleep apnea, if they're doing temporomandibular disorder, if they're doing implants and bone grafts, they should at least look into the possibility, honestly, because that is going to really push you to the next level. I mean, I have offices that bill over $500,000 in medical billing.
Wow. Man, that's interesting.
A year. It's according to what you do in that office. So those are the kinds of things that we help. We do not recommend billing medical to everybody. I mean, we just won't, because there are a lot of patient doctors out there that aren't even billing all of the dental codes correctly. Right. So we try very hard to show them the ability to bill their dental at a better rate, make sure they're getting all the benefits with that, and then move on to some medical. And we'll recommend what medical they should have. Now, a 2-day course is really not going to be the end-all of be-all because it's just 2 days. But if you're starting out and you're only doing 1 or 2 things in the beginning, we have doctors that are, so excited and they call us and Facebook us and all of that they made it. They got back that money. They couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So
I can easily see how somebody would get a great return on investment hiring you because just on the implant side alone, as you know, is becoming an increasingly popular service in the dental community. But the problem with the implants, especially if you're doing an all-on-4, you bill a single arch of an all-on-4 that's 4 to 6 implants and a bunch of other stuff. You send that to dental insurance. Now that's a $20,000 to $30,000 case.
That's a big one.
But dental comes back and says we're only going to pay $1,000, and the patient pays $1,000, and then they say that you can't collect any more from the patient, which is so ridiculous. So I've learned, Christine, that you're an expert coder, medical coding as well as dental coding. You provide this as a service, right?
Oh yeah.
And I understand you're coming to Lehigh, Utah next month, November 2016.
Yes.
So a lot of the listeners, there's a lot of people that are going to listen to this that are going to need some help. we want to help get the word out for your upcoming events, because I think even a 2-day seminar, which you said is not going to solve everything, but won't it at least open their eyes to the opportunities and maybe several tips that they can take back to their practices and implement right away?
Yes, and the reason, we recommend the 2 days, whether you're going to send the billing out or do it in the office. And the reason is it's changing how you think about billing. I mean, you bill all day long, but we bill with a different mindset on dental than medical, because we know there's only 2 exams a year. There's only a certain amount of x-rays a year. It's very different in medical because they don't limit you to what you can do. It's only limited if there's an exclusion. So, for instance, if you took a CBC to do implants, they're going to pay for the first one to diagnose with. They're going to pay for the stent radiograph because you use it to make sure you're going to place the implants in the correct place. And then they'll pay for a follow-up, because how do you do any surgery without knowing it's in the right place?
Right.
So it's just a different way of thinking. But you don't want to do this on your own, because we will teach you the legalities around it, so you're not overbilling, you're not underbilling, you're not getting flagged, because we don't want anybody flagged.
Right.
I mean, that's just a definite.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're giving you all of the tools you need to go back and do it. And then when they come to the 2-day course, we include 2 months on our virtual study platform. That's inclusive of the 2-day course.
Wow.
So in reality, what we charge is very little. Because during the 2 months afterwards, you're able to access us for questions, let us look at your form, look at the letter of medical necessity if you need. We'll look and make sure you put it on the form correctly. So we're holding your hand through the first, I'd say, the first 2 months. Then if you want to stay on the virtual tool, you can do that. If you want to come with us to another meeting, there's always a discount for anybody that's been trained. In fact, when I come to Utah, 4 of the people coming have already taken 1 course, and 2 they're on their 3rd.
Wow.
Awesome.
But they've already collected money, and they just want more. So they'll come with claim forms for us to help them fill out.
That's awesome. Well, Christine, thanks for coming on our show today. So I'm sure people will find, your knowledge useful in their practices. So if people have questions or want to contact you, how can listeners contact you? Do you have a website?
I do. It's www.links, LINKS, the number 2, success, SUCCESS, .biz, BIZ.
Awesome. And then do you have an email address that people can contact you on?
Yeah, my name, Taxin, at linkstosuccess.biz.
Awesome.
And then why don't you talk about the upcoming lectures that you have? You have one in Utah. What are the details on that one?
Well, the Utah one is a 2-day hands-on course where office people come. A lot of doctors come because they want to know what this is about. And we actually show them how to bill. So the first half of the day is much more how do you change the way you think. And starting on the afternoon and the whole second day, it's hands-on. You bring your computer, you bring a cell phone, and we are teaching you how to verify medical benefits, how to fill out a form, how to get the insurance to give you the questions you want. A lot of different things are what we're teaching. And once we do that, you're actually leaving on the second day with the form filled out for the patient, ready to put in the mail and either get billed or you are doing, you're doing a verification, and you're going to go back, you're going to do the work, and then you're going to send us the claim form when it's finished, and we'll show you to make sure that it's done correctly. And we only teach one type of billing per student. We introduce them to all of it. Mm-hmm. So we have roundtables. Somebody's doing implants with one of us, another one's doing sleep apnea, TMD, oral surgery, so that we're really hands-on.
So it sounds like an extremely valuable course for doctors and front office team members. So for those of you that don't know where this is at, this is going to be in, in Lehi, Utah, at the Weave headquarters. There's a golf course right next door. There's a bunch of restaurants. This is referred to as the Silicon Slopes of the West. It's a beautiful neighborhood. There is Park City. Some of the ski resorts may even be open by the time you come here. So come check it out in Utah. We hope to see you here. Christine, thank you so much for your time today. We'd love to spend the entire day with you, but we know that you have things to do. But we hopefully look forward to meeting you while you're here in Lehi next month.
I look forward to it, and I would love to work with you, gentlemen.
And that's it, folks. Another successful episode in the can. We'd like to thank our sponsors, BoomCloud Apps and Veritas Dental Resources, for making this podcast series happen. If you know somebody that is willing to share their knowledge and information on how to better manage insurance practices within the dental practice, please send them to us. Our website is www.saynotopPPOs.com. On behalf of my colleague Jordan Comstock, thank you for listening to this episode, and stay tuned for more. Have a great day.